It's our watch list video for Monday, March the 19th. We're going to be looking at our daily and weekly charts on the bullish and bearish breaks that occurred on Friday. Take a quick look at the markets. We got the Dow still staying in this little wedge, higher low, lower high, inside bar again. Remember, we ain't got a lot of components controlling this, and a lot of this down here has been bowing in a big sell-off for 2 or 3 days. The other markets are in a key area. We closed below the 50-day on the SPY, that's your blue line, and your S&P 500, which I always say is the key number. We're sitting on the line. 27.52 is the close, 27.48.85 is the 50-day. The day before we closed at 27.47.33, and the 50-day was 48.07, so we were right under it. So we're sitting here trying to hold this. If we gap down in this area, the likelihood of what's going to happen is we go back, we test the bottom side here, 50 at the most, and we're going to sell off. Struggling a lot. We don't want to gap down here. A gap down there on the S&P is going to put us down here somewhere on the Dow as well, and it probably goes up and tests the bottom of this trend line. And that's what they do. And when they break those levels, they're very hard to get back through initially. So we want to stay up here. We want to gap up, come back and test this 50 again, and then continue on up here. But if we get down below the 50, we may ride this little level here. Like I said the other day, we could sit here for 2 or 3 days. But down here is in my opinion, a devastating dip, especially if they don't just send it straight back up like a rocket. If it comes back up, it's highly likely to reject this trend line or the 50-day. And then if that happens and we end up closing down here, we're probably going on back down to do some more retracements. Take a quick look at our little futures charts. There's a PXD trade and a half right there. Got 2 futures charts here. One is the bigger uptrend that we've done this pullback in, and we've never broke down. So many times the way our charts work and what we teach is we pull back to our level. So we're still yet to test that. So I take that as a hope in the market. I've been showing this chart to you for a couple of days. It's still really not made a change. And then the shorter time period, we're in this slow downtrend, and we've yet to come back test this area. If we ever get back up here and push back through right here, then that future's probably head on up. If the futures get down to the next level we were looking at there, that's going to be key on that, whether this just continues down or we get that bounce. So we're just going to have to let this all play out. We made a lot of updates over at daytradersetups.com over the weekend. You can click on membership services and find out all about the charting package free trial offer and the different registration packages we have. We have another link on the Ninja charting we showed you the other day. We've done some updates in there, several new charts, as well as some links to the videos on getting started on that program. We got 3 detailed little steps, and we've got one little quick video here. I say quick, it's 30 minutes, but it covers what all 3 of these do that take 30 minutes each. That way, if you need some closer help, you can go back and detail what you're having trouble with. And then it goes on down, of course, and shows about the download the data. We also put an update on a YouTube page, and we've got the link to the nightly swing trade video you're watching right now. It takes you straight to that playlist. It has them all listed in it. We have a playlist for the videos we just showed you on setting up the charting package trial, and then our teaching videos on our charting package are going to be here as well. And we're going to put in one more little playlist here where we're going to do little feature charts like the PXD chart you were just looking at there for a glimpse, and we'll tell you more about that a little bit later on. Take a look at our weekly bear breaks list. You can pause the video and look at your charts. You've got the levels they broke down through. Got a few weekly bulls. Most of these, just like NEE, just got there on Friday. C-Trip late in the day, it's up $1.49, but it's only up 9 cents over our bull break on the weekly. So these are new entries. Here's one up 206 for the day. It went up the day before. So this was a stock we featured on Thursday's video, breaking into the weekly bull. It had a $2.06 day the next day. ALNY, you remember us talking about that on Thursday. Night's video up 368 on Friday. Breaking into the weekly bulls and continuing up in big day there. And probably pulled back some before the day was out. It just ran up mostly in the morning, chopped sideways, like most everything did. On our daily bears, we got a short list there. And on our daily bulls, we still got a pretty strong list of stocks that actually moved up into the daily bull zone. And all these stocks on Friday, as choppy as the market is, all these stocks had these kind of days. Very nice days on a lot of these stocks. So we're going to take a look at all those charts, go through the 3-minute tutorial, and we'll get right to those. This video is being brought to you by STS Pivot System Charting Package for day traders, swing traders, and option traders. Easy to follow charts and scanners, trigger prices right on the charts, on the setups. We teach 2 trades long and 2 trades short. That's all. It's that simple. Just like you see on this chart, the trigger price for this trade was in the corner over here from this point on, with this price posted, not to take it up here, and it did not trigger, but it wasn't posted as a trigger anyway. Came back. This is a classic, beautiful setup. Breaks right here. 167.26 was our trigger price. And we developed these same lines where you can overlay them on your shorter term charts. This is a 2-minute. By not taking that trade early when it went up here to 167.11, you avoided this 30-something minute pause here. It's not quite 30, about 15 minutes. This was a 60-something cent pullback by waiting on our trigger price to get in the trade here. And we were predicting that trigger price. This didn't go green until this happened. You have that up arrow where we're showing the price to go long at, and as soon as it triggers, it immediately gives a go short because it's so close to flipping back over. So that's exactly where it occurred, was right here. And that is how simple that package is to use. Trigger prices right on your charts. Got a 7-day free trial offer, 10-day money back guarantee. Once you get this set up, it's $69 a month. And we're extending as a courtesy, if you take this package, full access to the website, including the trade room if you want to come in and out of there as well. It's not part of the charting package, but it's an offer we're letting you come in if you want to. And I mentioned this in a video about a week ago that we were going to do this. Any previous member to Day Trader Setups from day one ever paid $1 to us, this $69 fee is waived. You can come in and try the 7-day trial, no outlay of cash whatsoever. If you decide you want to go with this package, then you can sign up. This is a mini tutorial on what the lines mean on my charts if you're a first-time viewer or been a while since you viewed. We're scanning on weekly and daily charts for my condition. When this green line is up, it's my bull zone. And when the red line is up, it's my bear zone. You need to be aware of support and resistance lines and what charts do at levels, and that's what these levels are for. Just quickly as I can do this, and we're going to put a video on YouTube getting more from your swing trading charts that'll be more detailed and look at more stocks, how they react to these lines. But the gist of what you see here is this is what I'm scanning for, and as you can see here, this showed up in the bear zone. It did go down for a few days, but these green lines are support. and that's why it fought for a few days, tried to bounce back up, headed back down again, came right back into the bull zone, bear zone, excuse me, and continued on down. Now the lines, here's what they represent. A green line is a place that a stock went up to and rejected. So as this green line redrew itself every time we made highs right here, and then it stayed across here for reference points, continues the same line here for reference points. Resistance, when you get above it, becomes support. This green line was drawn way back in the history, and when this stock broke above this resistance level, when it came back down, it held it, it held it, it held it, it tested it and held it again and again. That was support. That's why I want you to be aware of what these lines mean, and you'll see them on my charts. And then the activity that stocks do, sometimes they go, that's my first target, that's my second target. Many times stocks go target 1, pull back a little, target 2, then they may pull all the way back to 1 and go again if they're continuing an uptrend. In this case, it did the pull back. This blue line is a 50 period moving average, this orange line is a 200. So that's what I want you to be aware of as well. And then I have a pivot system that consists of this blue line at the top, yellow line at the bottom, and my target 1 and target 2. You'll see this particular day this stock gapped down, huge gap down, open way down here. The low on this stock was 169.68. I'm getting that right out of this box over here, and the value of that yellow line was 169.67. Within 1 cent it held that line and bounced that day for a huge bounce. It's not a support level, but it's where I look for stocks to try to hold. It's where I look, if I'm short, say from here, this is where I'm looking to get out. I'm looking to move 2 levels, target 1, target 2, going up, target 1, target 2. The pink lines all represent places the stock has gone down to and bounced. This pink line is referencing this last pivot low. So as you're selling down into it, it may bounce again. If you get below it, then it becomes resistance. And that's all these lines mean. I just want you to know what they mean going forward. Thanks for watching the video. Let's get started. Weekly bear charts. This is Celgene. We talked about this yesterday's video about all these levels down here. It's visiting. This was also on yesterday's video. Just continues to be here. Another day where it tried to go back up and did not. That's actually a reversal candle. It is sitting on this support resistance, so this stock could possibly hold here. And on the weekly, you got these levels we talked about yesterday. Lamar, I believe this is the first day on. It just barely closed low enough. It's already been in the bear zone. This is why we show you this. It triggered bear zone alert back here, had an inside week, and now it's just continuing into that package, and we still got the momentum down here on the weekly to the downside. Six Flags showed up a couple of days ago. We showed that to you. Had another little inside day down here, a little bit lower low, broke this previous low, and on the weekly we talked about this level here yesterday. Tex already didn't really do anything today, up 2 cents. It's been down here on the list for over $1. On the weekly bulls, ACHC's been here several days. We've talked about it for days and weeks. Actually, it's been on the bull zone on the weekly, on the daily. ACIC, another update after a couple of day pullback, breaking in this daily bull zone trigger here. It's just been laying up here, laying around. It don't have the momentum back yet on the daily, but it is still holding the weekly, or closed the week into the bull zone, and we'll have to see what happens with that for there. ALNY, we put this on Thursday. I think it crossed into the bull zone, crossed up through this support area. It did close below this last high, but it did have a $3 day again on Friday. AXS, we featured a few days ago. That's your 200 weekly moving average, had another $2 day on Friday. C-Trip, first day on the list. This is just kind of building momentum. It's not a weekly. Well, it is a weekly. I'm looking at my other chart wrong. This is a weekly consolidation break setting up here. First little sign of trying to break up. That's your 50-week moving average above it. This has been kind of grinding up every day. Had a real big range day here on Thursday, and then a good solid day on Friday. NEE kind of breaking out of this, or breaking out some new highs on the daily. It's been in the bull zone here for days. Third day up. Another big day, $2.90 on Friday. Third day we've had this on the list. And when it first broke up now down here 3 days ago, this was not the bull zone level. The bull zone level at that time was down at 156.87, way down here. When this broke out, this was bull zone down here. It's adjusted itself up, closed below it, or right at it on the daily. Just stayed in the zone. It did lose the momentum for one day and gained it back and broke through this high. It's in the weekly bull zone now. It's what I got sidetracked there a little bit. XON, this is just momentum. It is kind of building momentum on the weekly. It's been on the daily bull zone for days and days and days. Way back here. Been just kind of grinding sideways. It's not gaining momentum on the daily. The momentum has fell out of this thing. It hadn't come back yet. That's all the weeklies. We'll get over to the dailies next. While you're here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and follow us on Twitter or StockTwits at Day Trader Setups. And our website is daytradersetups.com and swingtradersetups.com. Don't forget, this video is being brought to you by our premium alerts at swingtradersetups.com. They're real-time alerts. They're posted on our website, and we're looking at our bull zone weekly and daily breakouts and our bear zone weekly and daily breakouts that are in one category on the website. And there are other categories that are more aggressive for the more active trader as well. And by having a subscription to that service, you get all these alerts intraday as they happen, and one subscription gets you access to everything, as well as our chart system. If you would like to get it, I can set you up a couple of different ways to have the green and pink lines available for your charts as you review. Let's go forward. AVY showed up on the $1.67 and go down 252 today into the bear zone. Broke down right here on the gap down. The pretty good little consolidation here for a while on the daily. If you go all the way back to this original pullback here, this is one big consolidation ever since then from about here on, and it's breaking down. It's been building momentum for 3 days now. Come up on our momentum scanner. That's part of our charting package as well. You can scan for momentum breaks on the daily without the bear zone or the bull zone and see which direction they're heading in. That momentum picks it up in either direction. You don't have to be just looking for a long or a short. You can just be looking for momentum and then bring that to your attention. You can actually use that same scanner over there on small or time frames as well. So this is pretty negative candle here. You got some support down here around 109, 108.99 is that number. And on the weekly, that chart has got a huge, just a little retracement, not anything negative, back into here. Wouldn't be uncommon. That's $102 area. Jack is losing the weekly 200 here. It did the little stair step, perfect Fibonacci retracement, and back down. Those lines are part of the charting package as well. Here's Jack on your daily. Inside day, actually, it's still in the bear zone, and it does have a little momentum showing. It's got a break on down now. one of the things I've always taught, and you can see it here on the chart, it's ran up into resistance, pull back to my lower pivot line. It may hold in this area and then try to go on back up. That pivot system, the pivot system is the red and green line you see on the charts. This is my floating Fibonacci's. I've been showing these on the charts for over a year. They are part of the package, so you have those for reference material as well. Weekly bear zone, daily bear zone. This stock just kind of touched it on Friday. It broke down through this level. It had momentum the day before, lost the 50-day. This is pretty key. It lost through that. This stock is probably headed at least down to here, and that'll revisit. You may go all the way and revisit this weekly low back here, and this is just on a daily, a big daily chart. This is some Fibonacci levels. That's going to be a 61.8 floating Fibonacci. Breaking out of this consolidation on the daily pets. Pretty strong down day into my bear zone, 200-day right below it. It needs to hold there. Tiffany gap down out of this consolidation and ended up with momentum into my bear zone, but did close above a support area. And this also bounced off the 200-day and bounced off the 50-week right here. And this is a big weekly support line. It did close above it. That line is $97.29. That's a key number there, it looks like. It's on both those charts. And of course, the 200 is going to be the key to hold. Once if it loses that again, probably is going to test that again on this coming week. BIEB breaking out of this consolidation. Little momentum sign that it got a gap up and pulled out of that momentum down, and now it's rekindled that as it lost this support line. Two different lines were here through the 50-day, heading to the 200-day. Daily bulls, got quite a few of those. First stock on the bull zone, ALL. Went in the bull zone a few days ago. It's just grinding away. Got through the 50-day. This is not a day trader. It really doesn't have a lot of range normally, but it's moving along here well. Getting a little momentum into this. It could fail this tomorrow morning. It could gap down, fail the 50, and go straight back down, but it's trying to go up. AVB, same story. Been in the bull zone though. We put this bull zone way back here. No, excuse me, that's not the bull zone, I'm sorry. Went into our trend stability and had the momentum indicators. We put this on. So this will be something using that momentum indicator on our charting package. Just scanning the dailies, you would have picked up the momentum right here by the close of business on this day right here. And I'm sure our charting system would have had this thing long, probably way down here. I went over and looked at that. We've actually had this in a chop zone sideways for a whole month. We didn't really break it until the 15th right here is where it actually started showing up in the long zone for us again. That did show the momentum on the daily, and that you could scan that yourself off our package. AXS we've been looking at on the weekly up through the 200-day. CPT got above the 50-day a couple of days ago, getting into our bull zone, just building this momentum up. You can see it down here. Another stock you could have picked up the momentum on about 5 days ago. And we had it on the bull zone alert actually on Wednesday. And it's continued on up. The bull zone's getting higher now, and it just recrossed a newly created bull zone there on that stock. So that's the reason we show you the chart, so you'll know if it repeats. It's just building momentum on the original alert. And it did maintain our yellow momentum indicator the entire time on a recap list. ECL, definitely not a momentum, a base consolidation break. It's been in the bull zone for days and days and days, where it broke out way back here. Re-break on the new levels. So I don't really trade the re-breaks. I want to trade the consolidation, the first break, and that's what, like I say, that's why we show you this. So you'll realize, can take a a deeper look into it. Big strong candle on this stock on Friday, a very big strong candle. This is coming off a very low weekly consolidation here off the bottoms. EW, that's your weekly, just continues to grind higher, and it's just hitting a new bull zone alert that's been created off this small consolidation. It's not a good consolidation break. This is a long time ago break, way back here. Another stock just showing up. Now this is a little consolidation break. It's got to get through the 200 here, and it's at a weekly level that looks like it had a pretty good weekly candle, comparatively speaking. GWW gaining momentum, already hit the bull zone way back here. Where it originally hit the bull zone. It's calculated a new bull zone and crossed it on Friday. We put this first on the long alert at 273 on March the 8th. Maintain momentum all the time. KNX, first time on the chart, lots of consolidation here. Definitely not a swing trader, but trying to break out. Eli Lilly, definitely not a day trader. I said definitely not a swing trader. And that last one I meant to say day trader, not a day trader. Lilly, kind of a bullish candle, 50-day overhead, resistance overhead, crappy day trader, never touch it. Pretty good sell-off on the weekly here. Held some support lines exactly to my fib line. That low was 73.69. My floating fib was 73.70. So that's a classic of what these lines can help you with. This stock's definitely not consolidation break. It is trying to build some momentum. It is at resistance, and on a weekly it is at resistance as well, but it did finally close above this level that I haven't been able to close above since October. That number is $50.60, and that's your support line. Momentum, it's already been in the, excuse me, I was on the wrong chart. Momentum, it's already been going bull zone from way back here. It's just at a new bull zone level. It's already moved $5 or $6. Went back, tested the 50-day on Friday. That's pretty strong. They bought that stock pretty strong. But it's not a consolidation break. It's already done that. It is at weekly resistance. There's your weekly resistance, $96.62. High a day, $96.56. Right up there. I actually tested it the day before on that weekly line, and that's the same line that's right back here on this chart. PII, what a break, or what a day. Got through the 50-day. A lot of momentum on this stock. We're going to show you a little more about this trade, how it's set up. Okay, PII, you got a lot of things going on here. First, look at the weekly candle. Little doji candle all the way up here. Ignore this 119.20. That's to do with the day trade. Nice bullish candle. Got through the 50-day. Gave two trade ups on our charts on Friday. If you break this down, now first we put it up $5.34 on the day. It only got into the daily bull zone, 96 cents. Below the close there. I'll show you this on an intraday chart, 2-minute chart. We put a break on this at 119.20. Was our long watch alert price. We always teach about have your lines on your charts. This is why. You got a long watch alert, and you got overhead resistance right here at 119.30, which was the high of the day before. You expect a hesitation if it doesn't just accelerate out, and it gave that. It did pull back. From our trigger price was 119.20, long watch, printed 39, pulled back down to 76 cents. So it was about a 60, 70 cent pullback, very close to your VWAP. That's what they do. and then went back and was able to test that line again, close right below it, closed above our trigger price, and then broke back out above there, and off she went. Now this stock ended up from this 119.20 end of the day. This stock closed at 123.13 after this little pullback at the end. That's a $4 move off our alert. I didn't draw a lot of pictures here. The whole time this was chopping along here, it kept a thing down here for long watch trigger. And every time it turned this line green, it printed that price. It kept chopping and kept chopping. This was the day before in the late afternoon. Then it started out again on Friday morning. It had a trigger price on it. I started listing it here, the little box that you've seen before, right over here. It says 2x. And then when it went green and got a little higher, it said 1x, and it was predicting this same 119.20 at that time. Pulled on back, chopped around. It did go green, but we weren't even above the line at the time, so we're definitely not interested in this trade just because this went green and our price is way down here. Chopped around, went right back red, and then it gave on the chart again the price of 119.20 for the breakout. Now on a 2-minute chart with the overlay, that's all this chopping around here. 119.20 did trigger where we showed you and ran into that resistance line right overhead, gave the pullback, and then came back up and broke out. The next trade on this stock was right here. As it pulls back, we have a little box that's up here. It says GZR, Green Zone Retracement, and RZR. It's always there. The values can be used if you're just kind of looking for the little next tick up before you decide to get involved in a trade. That value is always there. That's the next positive motion in our algo. But we put it on the chart for nothing but this right here. When you get this pullback, this is a pullback real close to our line here. Didn't get very close at all up here. When it pulled back right here, two things happened. One, the 50-day was right below you. I'm going to go back to that 2-minute chart again. And our little telltale price on that at that time told you where the trigger was here. And we make it reverse a minimum of 2 factors. So 25-factor chart, that would be a minimum of 50 cents off the bottom before we ever would call it long, back on a long watch. So the 2-minute chart triggered right here, hit resistance, pulled back, and gave a recross. And then you had your nice run up, and then the stock pulled back, still a 2-minute chart. Got way over here and did this quick sell-off of over $1. And we got little charts as well that help you maintain your stop. So you'd be out of this if you're day trading it. Pulls way back. Well, when this low right here, 121.03, our daily 50-day is at 120.76. So it was right down in here. It's where the 50-day was. Our retracement alert was to take this right here. The little box up on the chart said GZR, Green Zone Retracement. That's the trigger price. It's always in that box if this is happening. And we can see that on the chart that it was happening. And that's the trigger price up here at 121.70 for another trade that takes you up here to 123.60 at the end of the day. Another $2 move. Now you see these are not scalp-o-matic trades. These are trades. Scalping's getting in and making this money right here and quitting. And that's fine if that's what you like to do. I try to teach how to trade. This is a trade setup and it run all day long. This is our uptrend. This was coming back to revisit on the bigger picture. We don't worry about the chop. We will get out, of course. But we can do our pullback here and not trigger this little line right here, which makes the box come up, say short watch at, and it'll give you that signal at least 50 cents ahead of time. It never plotted that the entire time. It didn't have the yellow line or green line didn't pop up down here. So when I can get a pullback close to this line and I'm not getting anything that say, hey, we might want to start watching this closely, we could lose it here, then I like the retracement alert even better. this is probably the best trade. I really love to see them come back and really almost touch this line, or even slightly take it out of 10 or 15 cents. I don't want one way down here, because then I know it's going back up here and it's going to reject. But for the retracement, I don't want to take that retracement, because it may reject at any point once it gets too deep. It can get deep and leave the line green. If it gets deep and leaves the line green, I'm not interested in a retracement alert. I want to be back up here when I take that signal. Even though that price stays on the chart, we teach that you're not interested down here. But that was a strong day, and it needs to be put on a watch list for next week. SREE tried to get in here a couple of times. It's hitting a 200 day. That's an issue right here. It is trying to get some momentum going, but it really hasn't been able to yet. And it's also tapping the 50 week. So it's got some issues to get through first. And that whole sector, I think, is going through that same kind of movements. There's been some nice moves in that sector this past week. This is breaking out of this daily consolidation down here. That was the 200 week that this has been holding on here. This is a little resistance area that it's trying to get back through at $31.97. It did close slightly above that. This is an old low that's worked its way through at 30.90. A little bullish candle on Friday. Into the little bull zone on this consolidation break. This stock could be building some momentum. It's not a day trader, but it can build momentum. There's your 50 day, the next thing it's going to run into. Ulta had a big day. That was our earnings day. I think it was actually down pre-market and then came back. Monster trade. You definitely want to trade that and not try to scalp it, because with the way the bid spread moves around on that, it can hurt your feelings. You got to time that trade right. That's a big day on Friday, and I think they missed numbers. Got through the 50 day, may come back and retest that next week. It'd be a good thing to watch if you're trying to catch a day trade off of that stock. Your weekly is coming off a 200 week. You probably can draw you a trend line right here. If I were trying to trade this, that'd be what I'd be worried about. Let's readjust that a little bit to here. That's where it's going to hit at. Set another alert there. I doubt it. It could get there Monday. And you could do a pullback. If it gaps up, you want to be above that line. But that's a weekly chart, so that may be a little ways away. And you got your 200 day is right there at that same intersection, so that's a pretty likely hit. Pull back, probably go bam up into the 200, back down, revisit the 50 before it actually breaks out of through that trend line on that weekly, be my guessing. VNO sitting at the 50, got overhead resistance at $69.78, and it is trying to build some momentum out of a consolidation break. Weekly got resistance as well. I think it's the same line as I just showed you. Yeah, it is. So pretty much that's what it's trying to get through. 69.78. The high was 69.66. So 10 cents off of that line. That is resistance right now. Is building momentum's got to get through there. Nice little sideways base for multiple weeks on this stock after about a 50% fib retracement back into support, gaining a little momentum here on the weekly, or had some momentum. Actually lost a little momentum indicator here. I think this was probably measuring the momentum to the downside, and now it's the downside momentum has diminished, so it's trying to get out of this a little bit. That's another way you can use that tool. And now on the daily, it's got momentum. It's got the 50 day overhead. It's been riding the 200 day. This is your next problem. It's got to get above the 50. You can get this thing above the 50, you can probably move it on up another level. That's all we got. Thanks for watching. See you next week. You thought I forgot again, didn't you? I did too. Bear recaps. 5-day recap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see them all. You know how to read this. You watched enough videos to know about that. That's the entire list down there. Let's see if we can get this one into view. You're getting to see them all there. Pause the video. You can check those out. And here's your bull list. You can see all those as well. See what's still maintaining their momentum, the kind of days these stocks had. Here's one hit the bull zone 2 days ago. $5 day on Friday, $4.91 on Friday, $4.35 2 days. This has been on the list. $1.83 continue to go up. ALK lost its luster. It's going sideways. Still got the little momentum part of that little break it was trying to make, but it's stuck under the 50-day. Actually gained the momentum back on Friday. It lost it already. That big day right back down. This is worth watching and get back up in here. Thanks for watching. I don't know what I'm going to do on these videos. They're too long. They're taking more of your time and more of my time. I can't seem to make them 20 minutes. I just may have to just pull them up and let you start looking at the list. And if you're interested in coming over and checking out the charting package, you can get all these lines as well as lots of other information over there for $69 a month. Check it out, daytradersetups.com, Ninja 8 charting package. Thanks for watching.